Folks, hello, welcome. We are live. You are watching Dungeons, Dragons, and Discourse. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, and with me is none other than Glen House from Old Man Grognard.
Are we on?
Yeah,
Are
we're
we
on,
on?
Glen.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're on,
Listen,
yes.
I have a home video of my two grandkids, sons helping my wife make some cookies, and they saw me. This is like the first time we ever made video, and I'm like this, and Gavin's sitting on the counter, and he's doing this. And I finally said,
Smile,
Gavin, it's a movie. Gavin, it's a movie. Oh, okay.
smile for the camera. Keep it smiling. David,
Hey. Yeah.
David, welcome.
Well, welcome,
So,
David. David, welcome.
there was no live stream
And
last
it's
Friday.
freaking
No, there was no live stream last Friday because it was New Year's Eve, and I was ass deep in the world of COVID.
inca-
So,
incapacitated. We call it incapacitated.
I was ill. I'm still ill, but I'm having white wine because I have no red wine, and I wasn't leaving the house.
Oh, you're ill, all right.
Yeah. So, um, Glenn and I are basically at your mercy today. We have a few things to talk about, but Joshua, welcome.
Hey, Josh.
Uh, as usual, we are at your beck and call. We are like dogs with squirrels. Throw the nuts out there, let the squirrels run, and then we'll chase the squirrels. So
Have you
feel
ever
free
eaten
to feel free to.
squirrel?
I've never eaten squirrel. I've eaten Hassenpfeffer. I've had rabbit stew. I've had
Okay.
venison chili and venison steaks. And of those three, I would have venison chili again. It didn't taste like
Ah,
venison. But
good.
no, I've never had squirrel. I would imagine that
Thanks for that.
to make it worthwhile, you need a lot of squirrels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm coming from Edmond, Oklahoma, where it is a balmy 34 degrees, is why I'm wearing a coat.
Oh my God, I don't know what the temperature is here in New York. I'd have to find my cell phone. Oh, it's just charging. I'm gonna guess it's probably 30 degrees. We had 6 inches of snow when I woke up this morning, so it's 33 degrees here in New York.
Like I told Eric before, we get maybe 2 days of snow a year, but the rest of the time it's freaking cold. Freezing my butt off.
What can I tell you?
Yeah.
Um,
Robin, hello. How are you? My old roomie, my old North Texas roomie.
City park land squirrels are probably less gamey than the wild kind. But they'll eat out of your hand, so catching them would be really evil. So I guess 34 degrees over there on the other side of the pond. So
Same,
so
same here.
David, we're all in it together. God bless.
We're all together when we go. Yes, we are all. In fact, it is. I have trouble with my extremities, keeping them warm. My hands. So I'm even resorting to this.
Okay. Well, you know what? Then you too can live on the New York City subway system, because that
There we
is
go.
what the I shouldn't say that. I avoid the New York City subway system. My friend here says his temperatures are 26.8. I'm in Queens. I'm in the outer borough. Temperatures in Manhattan are a little wacky sometimes because you are in the cement city of Manhattan. So temperatures are a little bit different from places with some small plots of greenery around you. But
Well, I got these. I got these 7 years ago when I played Scrooge, and I've had them ever since. And boy, have they been handy.
oh, dude, I fingerless gloves were my secret weapon when I was a foot cop in the late '90s
Really?
because because it allowed you to take your hands out for a brief amount of time from your pockets, and your hand wouldn't immediately freeze. But still, if you needed to pull something out, you had that finger dexterity, whether it was cuffs, a
Yeah. You
flashlight, a
need. I
firearm.
need.
Yeah.
I need that dexterity. Becky's going, why don't you get a pair of proper gloves? I said, because I don't want to keep having taking them on and off all the time.
Yeah, even the ones that are like even like shooting gloves or like the new smart. They got the smart tips on the fingers for your gloves, so you can use your phone.
Yeah, the real thin ones.
Yeah, I can't use them.
Yeah.
Zach, you had
But
good hopes for TSR3. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do this. Ready?
well, that's going to kick off
My
tonight.
jaw just drops down because uh, it's almost like having good hopes for Far West, which, by the way, Far West had promised. Now I know they promised a new number of times, like 70 plus times, for a release date, and you were supposed to get something as a backer. Guilty as charged. I was a retard. I was a backer. Um,
Hey, you got a picture.
I got a picture of me with red hands. So if that doesn't prove to you how stupid I was, but yes, it was supposed to be ready or not. Here it comes. Whatever we have ready will be out before the end of the year, and then before the end of the year, Gareth has further personal problems, and now it's the end of the month of January. We'll have something Bueller. So we shall see. 54 degrees in Sacramento. Sacramento and San
Yay!
Diego are two places I'd like to visit at some point. Where it's always
Yay!
like late spring, early fall. Uh,
I just, pardon my throat. I'm going to be clearing it a lot tonight because
that's
like I
okay.
said, I just ate a drumstick, one of those ice cream drumsticks.
He ate a drumstick. Me, if
It makes my nose go crazy.
no, I now I've
If you know
got
what I
my
mean.
wonderful. I have a great mic with an easy way to mute. You just tap it. But if I forget to retap it, I will be silent. So if my mouth is going and I'm not saying anything after I do a silent cough, it's because
Yeah.
I just didn't. Craig, actually, I that popped up on my notifications on my phone. I didn't read the full thing, other than I think it's going to print later this month, if I am not mistaken. We're talking the Memorial Tomb campaign. That see here, Ernie and Benoit will quickly tell you has nothing to do with TSR3, and it doesn't, except for the fact that at this point Ernie has become like the albatross of old school gaming because of his hitching his wagon to TSR3, and that's a shame. But Memorial, I have no idea what it stands for, and Robin, your task as our in-house counsel right now is to look that up and find out for us.
Yeah, we
All right.
could use a public defender in this department.
Yes, I always thought I might need one. Oh, third day of
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero in Indiana. Oh, Jesus Christ! And
This
that's
is
and that's
why
and
this
that's
is
not
why I
so
take
good.
a chance. This is why I take a chance every time I say I'm cold and it's such and such. There's always going to be somebody out there. Yeah, well, we're down near freezing here, or below freezing, or something like that.
Yep.
I mean, I had no call to do it when I lived in California, but now I do.
What can I tell you? So, for anybody who somehow slept through the last 12 hours or so,
Oh, I tried. I tried.
my cell phone. I sleep with my cell phone next to me on my bed, and my watch will vibrate as I get PMs, and I'm getting like these PMs starting at like I don't know, shortly after 8 o'clock. I wasn't paying attention. I just ignored it. And then finally, I couldn't ignore it anymore. And I look at my phone and I got a bunch of PMs from people, including a PM from somebody who is a good friend of mine and is a good friend of Darlene. So it's a mutual friend who said, Darlene wanted me to send you this. And it was an RTF file of Darlene um, posting on Facebook. So I knew that she wanted to make sure everybody could read her thoughts. And that's why I did a special earlier today covering what Darlene had written. But the long and short of it is it actually reinforced certain ideas or certain knowledge. It's not ideas, it's knowledge. But this is knowledge that where I would have one impeccable source, screenshots, everything, but not something that I.
Unimpeachable.
What's up? It's not stuff that I could actually go out with and publicly share without multiple sources. And now Darlene is a multiple source that the piece of art that they wanted her to sign over and sign a contract and state that she never gave anyone else prior rights to it and required her to defend TSR against any claims against the work.
See, that's what gets me. It's like, yeah, you want me to tie a noose around my neck and in addition to all this?
Yep. And I had impeccable evidence that the artwork that they were showing for these graphical trademarks was redrawn. And I knew for sure that Greg Bell Lizardman was redrawn. I suspected that the Wizard was redrawn as well as others. She confirmed that the Wizard head, I used to always call it the Moon Wizard, that one was not her original work. The quality was less. Now, whether they say that it's a lesser quality, whether they had it redrawn, is I don't know. But
didn't they get that off the Johnson & Johnson logo?
Well, it wouldn't be they; it would be her.
Oh, okay.
That Darlene did the original version of it, but what they wanted her to sign her name to as Exhibit A in the contract, she said was not her work. So, now before we go off on a tangent, Doc, yes, I've seen some of the Twitter reviews of Giant Lands. I'm going to let you know right now, Wednesday night on the live stream, I ordered Giant Lands live. I spent my $142, including shipping, for that bag of shit. And when I get it, we will cover it. I will take, there's no PDF of it, but I will take shots of the worst offending pages, forward them to my co-hosts, because I'm sure not just Glenn, but Mike and Joe are going to enjoy going over some of
We'll take shots at it.
We'll all, you know what? When they say, stop kicking the dead body, well, sometimes you just gotta make sure it's dead. And I think, I know I haven't seen, I might get surprised. But remember, you are, in the case of Giant Lands, you're buying an alpha. They're not even calling it a beta, or are they calling it a beta now? Maybe it's a beta. But it's still a playtest version of the game. It's not the final version. So you're getting, I don't know, typo, unbalanced bullshit, and you're paying $140 for it. So I took that hit, so you don't have to. So I really do.
So we're gonna take shots at it.
Right. Well, I mean, hey,
take a shot for every page you. Yeah.
I showed this on Wednesday. I'm going to show this again. This is the RuneQuest starter set. It's a full-size box. Giant Lands is going to be a digest-size box. This thing weighs a ton. It's $30. You could probably get it for a little bit less than $30 on Amazon, but buy it through Chaosium if you're going to get it, because they'll give you the PDFs for instant gratification to go along with it. I want to run this again. I haven't run RuneQuest in, I don't know, probably close to 30 years. I ran Pavis and Big Rubble. It was amazing. And this makes me want to run it again. So I really can't say anything nice enough about that. Was Memorial Tomb the name of the campaign that Ernie ran in the shop? I do not know. Robin, I thank you. With that special report, it was important for me to have Rachel in the room for it, because I figured we needed just more than just my occasionally snark commentary on that when I was, so Rachel's always good for another perspective. And I mean, before Glenn and I logged in, we were talking about it, and Glenn, your reaction when you read that when you read Darlene's post today? What did you feel?
Well, I was reminded, all the stuff they want to pay for her logo and all this other stuff. Okay, fine, just sort it out. And then they said, we want you to, at the end, when they said we want you to support what we're doing. And all I could think of was Moby.
Yeah. When you say
all I could yeah, you have to be a friend. And so all I could think of is Moby Dick at the end when the whale is, Ahab is on the whale, all harpooned, and he's going like this, and they're saying, and yet he beckons. And it's like, okay, you want me to go down with the rest of you? Fine. Because they are going down, believe me.
Yeah, they are. And all right. It didn't have to be this way. All right. They didn't have to be the last ones on the hill, raising their fist to the big bully Wizard of the Coast and they go die on the hill.
I don't blame her for not wanting to die on that hill.
It's not her hill to die on.
Yeah.
David's got a question. Does Janelle Jacquet have the rights to her Judges Guild stuff?
Well, then Doc answered.
Doc did answer? Okay. Some of it. My understanding is some of it is owned by Janelle and the rest of it is owned by Goodman Games. And I don't know. We shall see. Now, since you just put me down a rabbit hole, the Judges Guild stuff that is owned by Goodman Games was likely sold, and that's mostly Janelle stuff that Goodman picked up, was likely sold to pay off the arbitration award that Judges Guild lost. Bob Bledsoe II lost to Frog God Games for when he had his social media. So, God help us. God help us, each and every one of us.
And God help us, everyone.
Every single one. Howdy ho, neighbor. But
So how's your gaming doing?
Haven't had any. We've had no game. Let's see. I missed. We were doing an Aliens RPG game that was really, really spot on. I believe Greg Christopher was running that. I had Rob Conley, Tim Shorts, Joe the Lawyer, Matt Jackson, Jeff Jones in a group. An amazing group of people to play with. And I missed the last session because I think I was like pre-COVID. And I was just wiped out. And then the holidays, and then just, in between the holidays. So I don't think I played in like 3 weeks, although you wouldn't know that from my text message chain with this group of people because it goes off constantly throughout the day. But I believe our next Monday night game session will be Rob Conley is going to be running his Majestic RPG, which is a bit of a rewrite from Swords and Wizardry.
Majestic Wilderlands.
Yeah, so that's going to be the next game that we play. And then I think he's going to run the Expanse after that. We're not going to run the Expanse after run a few sessions of that. And that actually tempted Rachel, but she's like, no, I'm not going to play. But if I did play, could it be a belter? I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Of course you could. I'll have to stick you in a room on the other side of the house. We don't get feedback when we're both playing, but we'll see. I'm trying to convince her to play online. We'll see if it works.
Remember the game Belter?
I'm gonna belt you one. No, we that
was a Traveler game.
Oh God!
A Traveler box game.
You see, like my Traveler stuff, I never had. What was it, Broadsword or any of those big boxes? I had the starter box and I had a few of the double-sided adventures. So
I used to go to the RPG auction when I went to DundraCon, and let me tell you, it's nothing like the auction in North Texas. It's made for people who can afford stuff.
Oh, wow.
And
that's overrated.
Yeah, but they used to be the funniest guys. They were so great. Anyway, I digress.
Yes, Dandelion, the Free League version of Aliens, which I think by my last session of play, I finally understood the dice resolution system. I think. Wasn't it listen, ran fast and easy. Wasn't really complicated.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun. So now, Glenn, have you been playing? That's a good question.
Gage and I just played last night in Matt's game. Matt's art rule cyclopedia game.
How'd that go?
We had some. It went well. I was just happy Gage was there, so I don't have to play his character and mine.
Okay.
So he's playing probably the world's most unlikely thief. Because the guy's about my height and he's like 300 pounds, but he's got all these thiefly abilities and he's only second level too. He's got these really good thief abilities. He's got like an 18 dex and stuff like that. So it's like, okay.
You don't see me. I will fade away from your view. Oh, yes. 300 pounds to me. Hey, whatever.
That reminds me of a Toon character I tried to make one time. It was a ninja elephant. And
I could see that. I mean, in Toon.
I was gonna call him Hoodoo Dad. Okay?
I don't know whether to cough or to cry. Hold on, I'm gonna have to do a cough suppression.
Hoodoo Dad with the special maneuver, the flying trunk of doom.
All right.
I'd play it in Doc's game if I was there.
I was trying not to laugh, and I think I sucked in, and I sucked down like post-nasal drip as I tried not to laugh, and then it became. So yes,
you're old. Don't do that.
I'm only 54. But it's been, as 2020 was weird in a different way because 2020 was just flat out depressing. All right, 2020 was a year of the lockdown, and 2021 was a year of no more lockdown, back to lockdowns, no masks, more masks. Go out and have fun. Don't see anybody. Don't test. And it's been all these ups and downs, which of course I ended the year with COVID.
Well, I still always carry a mask with me just in case.
Well, I'm in New York City, so anywhere you want to go that isn't outdoors requires a mask unless it has a vaccine mandate. So I can eat in a restaurant when I'm vaxxed, but I can't walk into liquor store to buy liquor like a bottle of red wine without putting my mask on. So, and now that's another thing. Now, Glenn, neither one of us are going to GaryCon.
You're right.
But there's two conventions going on at the same time in Lake Geneva. You have GaryCon, which requires you to be immunized and masked, and if you're not immunized, they're going to test you or something like that. And then you have TSRCon, which says no masks, no vaccines.
I will quote Otto and George on that. Guilty.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing.
Yes, I would.
I don't think that I can spend 4 days anywhere wearing a mask at this point. I mean, listen, I am retired. I don't wear one for work. And maybe if I did wear one for work, my attitude would be different. So, she's not going to work. But I don't wear a mask unless I'm going to very specific locations for a limited amount of time, like a doctor's office. And 4 days of social with people wearing a mask, I'm going to be in the bar constantly eating and drinking, so I don't have to wear a mask. That's not going to be good for my health.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So I do think that, and it's strange. I mean, TSR is doing everything they can to screw themselves up, to step on their own private part, and yet at the same time they are offering an alternative to people that are locked into a convention in a town, Lake Geneva, that is going to have no hotel rooms available within 25-mile radius, if not further.
You got it.
So now you're offering the alternative of gaming without a mask. People are going to go, even though it's going to cost you $50 or $100 a head, depending on whether you're gaming with Justin or Venger, which are $50 a head, or Duck Larson or Ernie, it's $100 a head. You're going to pay a premium to game without a mask on. So
I'd rather game with Luke. I'd rather game with Luke, to say the truth.
Well, but you'd have to wear a mask.
Oh, well.
Now, here's something that I'm going to read between the lines, and I'm not going to say I'm trying to be a rules lawyer, but I think Ernie was trying to be a rules lawyer. Ernie said he would be at GaryCon before and after his game at TSRCon to socialize in the halls. That would lead me to believe that the halls belong to the convention center, which doesn't have a mask policy, as opposed to the rooms which belong to the convention during a convention and do have a mask policy. So I think Ernie is rules lawyering that one. I'd like to find out if that's the case. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to excuse me, Glenn. I'm gonna be blowing.
Hey, at least you get to do it.
Well, yes. I mean, according to the CDC, I guess I could have gone out after 5 days if I wore a mask, unless we tested. And if we tested and it was positive, then you got to stay the full 10 days. So we tested on day 7 with Rach, and it was still barely positive. So of course we tested, we'd have to stay in the full 10 days. It was originally the 10 days of isolation anyway. But if we didn't test, we could have gone out. Make that one. Does that? I got a headache.
Run that one through your brain. Yeah.
I mean, you know what that is? The CDC right now is a poorly written it's a poorly written RPG. It's an RPG that didn't go through any play testing, didn't go through any proofreading, no editing.
You might have something there.
It's Giant Lands. You know, it is Giant Lands. It's going to be self-conflicting. It's like, oh, okay. So if you want to game the system, just don't take a test at the end of the 5 days, because there's no benefit to taking that test. So there you go. Go figure that out.
It sort of makes its own juice.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So
see, I have fun.
Go ahead.
Talking about pop music. What?
No. Talking about pop music.
Pop music.
You don't want me singing, man. You just don't want. I'm not intox enough, and I am not.
You're not in a karaoke bar. You're not in a karaoke bar, so.
You know, that could be where that Rach and I got the COVIDs. It could have been
that. You think that happened to Becky
at the karaoke bar?
Yeah, we went out like about a week before she came down with it. It was our anniversary. We went out and came back. We hadn't been karaokeing in like a long time. And then next thing you know, she gets the COVID. And I don't.
Well, listen, Rach, we only tested Rach each time, but I had the same symptoms, and I was sleeping 12 hours a day. So I figured it was safe to assume that I had the COVID.
Works for me.
Jamie the Red, I think starting a con run by players and not for too much profit would be refreshing.
You
All
mean
right,
North Texas?
that's basically what I was going to say. That's North Texas. North Texas, to break even, has to do fundraisers throughout the year to bring in the
Now,
guests that they do. You know,
yeah.
that's basically it. Now, Gary Kahn. Now, I'm going to quote Ernie from, I don't know, 5 years ago maybe, when I went my first one. We sat down in the hallway outside of the vending area, and Ernie was showing me the bank records to show and prove that the Kickstarter still had monies, which is why you'll be getting something in the next couple of weeks from Troll Lord Games. The monies were still there. I give credit for that. It's huge. But he explained to me that his sisters paid off their yearly credit card bills with the monies that their share from the convention. Now, I don't know what monies the convention makes. I've never asked. It's not my business. I am not a partner or any of that. But Gary Kahn is made to make money. No,
Yeah.
to
Now it is.
yeah. Um, is Game Hall run to make money? I'm sure it is, but they pay so much of their staff. I don't know how much of an actual margin they make. But North Texas historically has lost money every year because the way it was run by Doug was like, listen, I take my family out on a huge vacation once a year, and I'm going to pay for my own huge vacation once a year, and that huge vacation is North
North
Texas every
Texas.
year. And so if he lost 5 or 10 grand on it a year, he was okay with that because that was vacation expenses that he was putting aside.
Yeah. But now we're on our own.
We're on our own, so that's why there's going to be fundraisers. That's why there's going to be sponsorships on this channel. We're just waiting for the PayPal account to get set up. They are.
By the way, have you got?
Go ahead.
By the way, have you gotten your badge?
No, I have not. I got to get my badge.
I got my badge. I got the room set up. Now
Oh,
Now I'm waiting for my roommates.
what prospective roommates are you going to have, Glenn?
Well, I know for one, I'll probably have Jason.
Okay.
Our friend Jason over in your neck of the woods, and maybe Mark Hunt again. I don't know. He hasn't said anything. I'm going to have to ask him
Mark
because he was all hot. I mean, he was all hot to come back this year.
Yeah, Mark. It was great seeing Mark in person. I've known him online as a presence that I've communicated with, whether quote indirectly on social media or directly, and it was great to be able to put not just a face but a voice and shake the hand. I mean, that was just it's when the friendships that you make via social media cement and become real is when you can make that physical connection.
Right.
I really do. Right. I really do think that's part of it. So
yeah, but he was. I was surprised because we had to do. This was the first convention after COVID, and it was, the hotel, no amenities, and we're going to take the bar. By the way, we're going to take the restaurant away too by making an exclusive club in here. And he still was impressed by the con. He still wanted to come back, and that says something about North Texas.
Yeah, I will say that I did steal toilet paper rolls from the bathroom to supply my bathroom in my room, but
okay,
yeah,
what
I'm assuming they're going to be a little bit better run this year.
Now, what I've heard, I think through Bad Mike or somebody else, this is our last year at the Westin.
It's the last year of the contract. So after this, they can renegotiate or they can look to go somewhere else.
Okay. I hope if they renegotiate, it better be, it's like, come on, guys, open the rest of this place up.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that was very frustrating not being able to go and get something to eat.
Well, that restaurant was only open for breakfast. That was what they closed. They closed the breakfast area.
Well, I know, but they had a bar there too.
Well, the bar.
They moved. They moved the bar.
Well, what happened was when they were doing the initial renovations, when the last time we were there before the year that
Go ahead.
wasn't,
Yes.
the bar was closed and moved over by the breakfast area, lounge area, and that was also the restaurant area
Right.
for that year.
Now
So
they got the bar
when they reopened the bar and the restaurant, they then closed down the breakfast area and the lounge area and made it a private members
now it's
only. Which, by the way, you could get your sodas and fruit and nuts in there for free if you're a member. Don't ask me how I know, because I'm not a member. But if I was a member, I would have been in there getting my free soda and free fruit, which I might have gotten.
too.
I might have gotten that more than once, but thank you to a member who had mercy on a non-member.
That's good.
But
they moved everything into one, like it's a bar with food service or something. I haven't been in that area.
Listen, the food wasn't bad.
But I was disappointed that I had to go out to get food.
Yeah, well,
I mean, Gage loves those flatbread pizzas. He could live all weekend on those flatbread pizzas.
Mark,
but other than that,
yeah. Well, Mark says when you open up and review Giant Lands, please go easy on Jim Ward. I have a feeling he got suckered into a bad deal. I think he is a great creator that needs structuring for his games and ideas. I'm going to take that one step further. From other professionals that I have spoken to who have seen bits and pieces of Giant Lands, when I say professionals, I mean publishers. And the overwhelming remark was, Jim is a great writer who needs a very strong editor to edit his work to be playable. To take and Jim does not like having his work edited, so you need a strong editor that will do it. But it has to be done, and I believe that Giant Lands did not have that, and it wouldn't have been any different if they were still part of TSR, because Lanasa edits himself on social media, and you've seen the train wreck he is when he writes something. So can you imagine him editing that stuff? So Dandelion Games spent a couple of hours in the bar with Mark. Super smart when it comes to industry work. Yes, he is.
He is. He had like at least 2 deals he made at the con while he was there.
You know what? And that's a funny thing, man, because I've said this before, but I've been seeing this since my first North Texas. I've witnessed deals go down almost every year because the atmosphere is that relaxed, and there's that many power players, and when I say power players, publishers that work in the industry that are looking to get stuff done, that show up to that convention, and they're not lost in a crowd of 3,000 or 4,000. It's 400, 450 people.
Yeah.
They can make their connections. They can find the time. It's not overwhelming.
I mean, yeah, it's not too big to be suffocating. And believe me, cons can get suffocating.
Yeah. Gary Con, my last Gary Con, I was 2019, and even before 2020 got canceled, I wasn't going to 2020. Not 2020. Well, my last one, yeah, but I wasn't going to 2020. I was like, I can't. I was getting claustrophobic, and this is coming from somebody who rode the New York City subway system for a number of years. I'm telling you that I was getting claustrophobic at Gary Con, and that's not a good feeling. So, yes, I'm with the COVID, drinking the wine, and Jamie, it would have been red wine, but I'm out of red wine due to the COVID. You know, you can't restock. We can't restock the wine cellar, not the wine cellar, the liquor cabinet. So now I'm drinking Rachel's white wine because it is what it is. This by the way is pure. It's
wood grain.
No, but it's carb free. There's no carbs. I think it's like 81 calories a serving, but this is like a 2-serving glass. So just I don't get money for you buying any of that stuff, but pure. I like the pure. The red is very nice, and Yes, Doc. All writers need a good editor, but some need more good editing than others. How's that sound?
True.
You know.
True.
And as Matt says, many of the old guard were inspired writers in need of brutal editors. I wish I could tell some of the stories about Jim Ward's work, but I can't. But it is
All I
definitely
can.
it's inspired. Yeah, but go ahead. All right, then you tell.
No, it's just that not only that, but they've got editors. They're also responsible for checking the layout and the text too. I mean, I'm talking about how it's written, but for instance, when my 12 years playing Champions, every time they came out with a supplement or something, it was always spot the typo because they were full of them. It was unreal sometimes how these things got published.
All right, I am not going to mention the current publisher in our hobby that has a certain historical issue with dropped sentence fragments and typos and such. But again, and I've been told the reason is because the author, who is also generally the publisher, is also the editor. And we all know when you're reading your own work, you fill in the blanks because you know what you intended. Which is why sometimes the best editor for an RPG is somebody who does not know RPGs very well.
That's right.
If I know what the author's trying to say, I can fill in the blank. It doesn't look wrong to me. But find somebody who doesn't know how to game and have them read your work. There's a good chance mistakes that others would not find.
You know what I said in the past, and I'll say it again, that with the state of writing in Hollywood right now, or just this poor state of like movies and stuff, bad movies, I think as part of their training, every screenwriter should run 3 sessions of a role-playing game before they even start, just to get the feeling of what people want in characters and plot and things like that. That's all.
No, it definitely it makes a lot of sense. By the way, David B, no delivery wine in New York City. Yes, there is. But the thing is, I got a sign for it. And when I was in my opening days of COVID, even with the mask on, I wasn't going to put a delivery person. I can get Uber to drop food on my stairs. When you put liquor into the package, I got to bring my ID out. No, I wasn't going to do that to anybody. Not fair.
I don't blame you.
So I'm trying to catch up on the chat, folks. Give me a second.
Yes, it was Typo City.
Yep, there goes Hero.
That's one of only 2 things I didn't like about Hero. So
Wild Die, I can neither confirm nor deny. I will say, however, that the company that you've named is doing a great thing right now for the community in getting out the Memorial Tomb in print, which even laid out. Now, I don't know if you're insinuating that we should be expecting a bunch of typos, but if we do, we just blame Benoit for it, right? I mean, that's. I joke. I jest. Oh my god! I thought I was catching up on this, and I'm not there yet. Dandelion Games says, except for the Kickstarter stuff, they've had to edit their own stuff, and it does suffer for it. But it's a choice on what to spend the budget on, and people will give a few typos a pass. And you know what? Especially if you're putting out a product first, and if you're putting out a product, say initially in PDF, I know a lot of people do this. They put the PDF out there, they give their community a week or two to find typos and stuff, and then they fix the PDF, and they fix the file and make the new file their new print file. There are ways to do it. You gotta be a little creative,
Mhm.
but there are certainly ways to do it. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't publish a lot, but what little I do publish, um, uh, I'm don't want to blow up anybody's spot, but I have an amazing editor that has uh, done the work on Torchlight, and I mean, both issues of Torchlight, and it's great because they find stuff that otherwise it wouldn't be found. And what makes me happy is that when it's like, I got something else coming up, it's like, oh, well, now that I'm doing a full-time job for this company, it's going to take me a little while to get to your stuff. And that, I don't pay much because I don't have much to pay with. I pay a share of the profits. But I'm happy to see people that have started out working with me suddenly getting real employment in the hobby, because I am not real employment in a hobby. Glen could tell you
You
that.
employ me. You employ
Yeah, but
me.
I'm not real employment, Glen. And we're
It's the
working
best.
on making it more steady, but
It's the best I can do right now. I mean, I'm getting ready to like flip DVDs and Blu-rays to make some cash here. So
that's not like flipping baseball cards when you were a kid, right? With like heads.
no,
No. Okay.
that's me going into thrift stores and pawn shops and looking for cheap DVDs that I could resell on eBay for more money.
There you go. You know
In fact,
what?
I just got one today, so we'll see. Oh,
I
and you know what? And you know what the flip was today?
what?
On eBay, somebody bought my Dungeons and Dragons animated series set.
Wow. Okay,
I made $25 off that.
that's a good flip.
Yeah,
And that's
that
a
is a
good
good
flip.
flip. I need to do it about 30 or 40 more times now.
All right. Well, you'll work your way there, sir. You'll work your way there.
Baby steps. I still got two up on eBay right now, so might be doing more. Anyway, I just didn't want to. I just thought it was interesting. Was the D&D stuff?
No, fair enough. Listen, whatever you can do. I mean, if you can find any niche that you can find to monetize, and I know
Right.
movies and videos is something that interests you. So this is something that
Well,
it's
and
your corner of the
DVDs and
universe.
and DVDs and Blu-rays are easy to ship because I can use media mail. It's like $3,
Hey,
and they're light. So
okay. Here, I will answer this for Glenn. Uh, yes, and you two need to connect. Hold on a second. I got to get the angles right. This finger. Glenn, do you do work for hire? Do you
yeah,
do art?
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
he will.
yes, I do.
And Glenn
Yes,
does
I do.
very good work. You've seen his work on the covers for Torchlight. So Glenn, where's the Spider-Man? Show me where the artist touched you on Spider-Man.
Right there.
Oh, don't touch him right there. My God,
Well, that
he's laying out
he's
all
doing
sexy life.
he's doing his Burt Reynolds on Cosmo cover
All right,
pose
all right.
right now.
That's the 18-year-old Spider-Man, right? That's not the Spider Boy.
18 inch, not 18-year-old.
Oh, all right. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm
With
just.
with 54 points of articulation. My God.
Oh,
That's
gee.
my remember that's my model for drawing.
Well, there you go. See,
Right there.
now I could not flip in New York City because most flip shops in New York City are going to be located in like the Village, so you can't drive to
Well,
it. You have mass
do it on
transit.
are you saying
So if you're going to
you can't go get inventory? Yeah, okay.
no. Now I will say there was one time somebody told me to go to what do you call it? Craigslist. Go to Craigslist and see if anybody's selling D&D stuff. And I was like, I'm never gonna
Uh-huh.
find it like that. Somebody was selling their
I never.
AD&D 1E and 2E collection, and it
Wow.
had two of those magazine boxes full of shit.
Wow.
And he wanted $50 a box, and I told him, dude, and it had, the 1E core books. It had like an early print of uh, Hamlet. Had a lot of, I had some Judges Guild stuff. I was like, dude, you know what? I'll give you $100 per box instead of $100 for the two. I'm going to give you $200. And his why? Because he was recently married, and his wife was making him get rid of it all because he hadn't played in like 10 years. And
That's why I had to get rid of some of my stuff. It's like she kept saying, "We got to downsize. We're going to move, so we got to downsize." So I downsized it.
I felt very bad.
I'm not downsizing anymore.
I felt very bad, man. I really felt like I was
I'm
taking
sorry.
candy
I'm
from a
sorry for
child.
you.
You know,
Sorry for you.
but I've never been able to see. I don't look as often as I had, but I've never seen him be able to pick up like that again. And now if I was flipping for money, I would have been like, maybe like, dude, you know what? You're underpricing a little bit. I'll give you 125. I could probably flip it easy for like about 6 or 7. I kept it
Yeah,
all.
it will. Yeah, I understand that. Well, it's just something for me to do, and it's like
No,
it gets me out of the house for a while.
Matt, he said 18 inches for a doll.
We have a Beavis and Butthead moment. There you
Oh.
go.
RPG auctions on Facebook, actually, it's pretty good. I just don't have the patience for it. I will participate in the North Texas RPG auctions because I will find things that I am interested in, and I don't mind jacking up the prices for everybody else, knowing that I'm probably not going to win it. And if I do win it, I'm happy paying, but I'm also happy getting the action moving, getting the activity going, and getting the profit margins going up for the con.
Yeah.
Oh. And now Robin wants some artwork from you.
I know that bum.
You see?
I'll charge him double.
Because he's going to charge you 36 inches, dude.
Oh God. Oh God.
I'm sorry. I had to go there. I couldn't help myself. It was just laying out there, like a slow moving curveball. It was just saying.
Anyway, I got it. By the way, when we get off here, I got an idea for another podcast or live stream thing.
Oh, jeez.
So I will tell you about it. It has to do with movies and RPGs. So we'll just leave it there.
Guess what I got Rach to watch the first episode of this evening?
What?
Lodos War.
Ooh, I've got that on Blu-ray. Nice.
It's on, was it Netflix or Amazon? I forget which it was. We were flipping through and I saw it. Went, holy shit!
In fact, I used to own that on VHS, the whole series.
I own like the first 2 episodes on VHS. That's all I could find back in the day. And then now they're streaming it, and they're streaming it completely dubbed, which is great when you're like listening to the opening song on the beginning of the first episode, and you're looking at the subtitles that are just part of the video, and they're not regular subtitles, and they don't match at all the English song that's being sung. It's like, well, I guess they figured the literal translation from Japanese didn't make for a very good song.
Well, that happens. I mean, who cares? It's just a song. Wait a minute. Let me show you something here.
Glen, if you're gonna wait now, you gotta let me. You gotta tell me so I can put a disclaimer up.
There it is.
Look at that.
And you know who sent that to me? Full On Gamer from Thaco's Hammer. He's been inundating me with anime, and this is one I actually asked for. He just went out and got it. It's also got the OAV of it. So you got the series plus the other series they did on it. Anyway, that's what I'm keeping. But yeah, Lotus War I saw way back. And I saw it at a fantasy convention. Somebody had it on TV on loop. The first episode where they go through the dungeon.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we saw. Rachel was actually enjoying it. Now, if I can
That's
only get her
good.
to say, she's never watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy. She's tried the first.
Hey,
She falls asleep during the birthday celebration.
I'll tell you. I just got my butt sat down by Gage, my grandson, today, and says, "You're watching Endgame," because I had not seen Endgame. So, because he wants to go see the new Spider-Man movie, and it's like, I don't want to go see it. I haven't seen Endgame. You haven't seen Endgame? Oh my god! You know. So 3 hours later, here I am.
Now, see, David. Yes, dub stuff often has changes to the script, but I don't like subtitles, and it's a cartoon. If you dub me a cartoon, I'll never know the difference. But also, remember, Rich is legally blind, so if there are subtitles, likely I'm going to have to read out the subtitles. So I'm going to have to do something about something that I don't like in the first place, and then read out loud for Rich. So we won't enjoy it. So yes,
Okay.
God bless the dub, the American English
Good night,
dubbing.
Dave.
Dave,
Good night, Dave.
be good. Cheers with my invisible glass. Oh God, Glenn, I might be crashing right now. Holy crap!
I might be crazy, but you're looking tired.
Yeah,
I'm just crazy.
I mean, I took no nap yesterday. I woke up at a normal time this morning, early enough that I could make breakfast and not just have to nuke something out of the freezer. And no nap today. And I wasn't sure if that was going to happen. And no nap today. But man, I am I am hitting a wall. I think Rach wants to do like karaoke tomorrow. I don't think we're doing.
Oh Lord!
Say, I don't think we can. I don't think I'd make the 2.5 block walk home afterwards without being like driven. Jeez. So folks, we hit the hour mark, and God bless us for doing it. And
We had fun. We had fun.
Yes, and I said the audience was going to drive this, and they did.
And my Bluetooth headphone, my Bluetooth earpieces only fell out twice. So
I didn't excite you enough to make you turn your head back and forth. I was gonna do that.
No, that's my butt.
All right. You're killing me, Glenn. Folks, tomorrow night is a Gamer's Health with myself and Rach. We might actually wind up pre-recording it and then doing it as a premiere at 8:00. I'm not quite sure yet, but it might just work out better for us, being that we're still kind of post-COVID lethargy. Listen, I always talk about the pandemic, COVID at the end of these episodes. Glenn and I, we're both vaxxed. Rach is vaxxed. Rach and I both came down with COVID. It's not going to stop you from getting it. I'm not saying get vaxxed. I'm not saying don't get vaxxed. I'm not saying wear a mask. I'm not saying don't wear a mask. You know your medical situation. Use your common sense, all right? And talk to a medical professional that knows your medical history. Be guided by their advice, please. All right? Be safe, be well. God bless each and every one of you. Here, I'll give you a
listen to Thaco's Hammer and Radio Grognard.
Yes, listen. You can't only just get Glenn twice a month through me. Okay, you need more Glenn. You need more.
Get your daily Grognard. Your daily dose
get
of Grognard.
your daily grog. Get your daily Grognard here.
Yeah, you go.
Roll the dice, roll them well, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. All right, first and the third, and hopefully by then I'm not falling asleep in Glenn's lap. Oh, that sounded wrong. That really sounded wrong. All right.
Ooh.